What's up, folks? Stu Myrick, Sports Guys Talking Wrestling on the Horn. Welcome to this week's live stream on YouTube and Twitch. We missed last week because I was solo, so big thanks to Nick Hausman from Wrestling Inc. for joining me. But we're back. Justin will be here soon. And I am watching the new NXT 2.0. They should actually be calling this NXT 3.0 because the first version was the old that reality competition series that they did, with the train or the rookie and the veteran or whatever. So they did that before they did the NXT that we grew to love. So now we've got NXT 3.0. We have finished our third match with B-Dab from Hit Row defeating a masked luchadora. I don't know who it was. Now we got some John between Hit Row Records and Legado del Fantasma because they've got a girl now. So a couple of observations 30 minutes into the show. Obviously, you've seen the graphics and you've seen the new logo, and that is the theme of everything. Okay, sure. Cameron Grimes and somebody are in the locker room of the Way with Johnny Gargano. There's champagne poured. They've put on gloves. Oh, they're getting ready for the wedding. I forgot. There's Austin Theory. So we're back together again. Yeah, I guess they're the best men for Dexter Lumis. Anyway, new graphics, new opening theme. It's the music that you've heard on the interim spots. Hey, there's the United States champion, Damian Priest. Very nice. We like Damian Priest. Big fans. Anyway, it's the same music you've heard during the little promos that you'll see during Raw and SmackDown and such. So it's that music. That's the new theme for NXT. They've gone away from the metal and everything. The PC, I have not heard them reference it as the Capitol Wrestling Center. I have not heard that. I don't know if they've done away with that name. But now we got Carmelo Hayes with Trick Williams. Carmelo Hayes won the no, he didn't. I don't remember. Anyway, the Performance Center, the arena, it's in the Performance Center. It's what used to be the Capitol Wrestling Center. It's splashed in color, a lot of color splash. The set, the entranceway, honestly looks a little like a scaled down version of Raw or SmackDown. It's, I don't know, if they still do house shows, I could see it at a house show, quite honestly. The first match, so they opened the show talking about the fact that Samoa Joe has relinquished the NXT Championship due to, quote, injury. And that the four-way that they announced a couple weeks ago would now be for the title. So that's Tommaso Ciampa, LA Knight, Pete Dunne, and Kyle O'Reilly. So they open with vignettes from all four individuals. And LA Knight was the last one, and during his vignette, this wrestler walks up named Braun Breaker. Now, I guess that's the second name he is being used. He's using, because the first name that we had heard was Rex Steiner. Yes, it's Bronson Rex Steiner, the son of the dog-faced gremlin, the legendary Rick Steiner. And you can see the resemblance. I think Bronson might be a bit taller. And oh, by the way, he used to be a fullback for the Ravens. So, take that for what you want. So he's in there. He's pumped because it's the new NXT, and he wants to make an impression. LA Knight says, well, if you want to make an impression, why don't you go out to the ring, and I'll make an impression, the way LA Knight does. Now, remember, LA Knight is slated to be in this Fatal 4-Way for the NXT Championship. So he opens the show against Braun Breaker, and Braun Breaker beats him cleanly. I mean, and it was actually a pretty decent match. As Justin is coming in, I'm saying hi. Who am I saying hi to? Oh, good Lord. Okay, TikTok. It's a TikTok thing. Justin has become a TikTok guy. So, anyway, so yeah, Braun Breaker, whatever you want to call him, just defeated LA Knight, who is slated to be in the main event for the NXT title. Hi, Justin.
Okay. I thought you were telling me that the main event already happened. And
no, the main event has not happened.
I was I was going to be severely disappointed if LA Knight lost. I think he
did. Well, he didn't. We don't know about that. And honestly, personally, I would love to see LA Knight win the title.
He should be the winner.
I would love to see that. But he just got defeated by Rick Steiner's son, who is now Braun Breaker with 2 Ks.
Oh, I thought they were going to just call him Rex Steiner.
They were, but apparently they changed their mind. So he is now Braun Breaker. So, second match had Imperium beating Josh Briggs and Brooks Jensen. So we got a new tag team. Something else I've noticed in the first 30 minutes and so far, all 3 matches have happened without a commercial break. So they save the commercial break for after the match. What a novel concept. That's the way it used to be done.
Whoa, you're going hard already,
man. No, I love it.
Okay.
That's old school. That is really old school.
So you're digging NXT 2.0 so far?
I
don't
know.
Pretty sweet.
I don't know. It's the big ass fan is gone, I think. Samantha Irvin, I guess she's one of the new backstage interviewers for NXT.
Ooh, Carmelo, right?
Carmelo Hayes, I guess he won the breakout tournament, so he's signing his contract, whatever. As I was saying, I mean, it looks nice. It's bright. It's a lot of color. Oh my God, it's a lot of color. Somebody posted on Twitter comparing it to the Color Splash ad that AEW Dynamite used for so long. So
yeah. Well, I mean, but
very similar.
But that has been something that had been talked about since this the logo had been released.
Yeah. Well, this is that's what I'm saying. So anyway, the set, I was just telling them, the set honestly looks like a miniature Raw or SmackDown set. It's all video screen. There's no more X, no more, and they haven't referenced it as the Capitol Wrestling Center. They haven't heard them use that name. So I don't know if they have gone. There was talk. I think the Wrestling Observer released a report that WWE doesn't want to use wrestling and wrestler again.
Yeah.
So maybe they're getting away from that again.
Well, it's always been
silliness. What? It was that way. Then they started using it again. Now they've stopped using it again.
It's always
it's silliness.
It's always been an entertainment-based product.
Yeah, I know, but you don't want to say that the wrestling is wrestling. So it's silliness. It's not bad. I'm not crazy about the logo. Maybe I'm just, I like the old black and gold, but hey, that's just personal thing. They well, anyway. So anyway, how you been? How's everything? How's life? How is stuff?
I mean, it's okay. Just staying busy with like games and stuff.
Yeah.
Basically.
Imagine.
Yeah, that's how it's been pretty much.
Yeah.
Had like 4 in 4 days, and then I got like a full slate this weekend.
I mean, I hate to say it, Lake Travis got their handed to them
Okay.
by Rockwall.
Wow.
They held with them in the first half, and in fact, I think the beginning of the third quarter they actually got ahead, and then Rockwall just, oh my God, they just couldn't stop them. So anyway, and then the Longhorns, oh my gosh,
I haven't seen any high school football this year.
oh, Longhorns in Arkansas, oh that hurt. So anyway, but all is well,
Well,
This
even Austin FC lost, and like they lost bad.
Oh, yeah, but we're kind of used to them losing. I hate to say that. And I'm gonna be at their match tomorrow.
Yeah, but I also wonder how many other people are going to actually go. Because
Well-
it's just like media wise, it's like, oh, the coverage stopped once like they got bad and the Longhorns got going, basically.
Well, it's the guys that are specifically covering soccer. So it's the guys like my guy Mark. What was his last name? That works for Last Word on Sports. It's Chris Bills from the Striker.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It's those guys. You're not gonna. You're probably not gonna see. Oh, good Lord. Okay, now we got Duke Hudson coming out. Another gigantic dude. And I saw his name recently. So they are going heavy on the whole. They are truly going heavy on developmental. So. Interesting. Oh, so the guy that came out with Carmelo Hayes, his name is something Knight. He's going to take on Duke Hudson. Oh, he's going to kick Duke Hudson. It's just an attack. We don't have a ref out there.
What is our Sports Guys Talking Wrestling link for Twitch?
For Twitch, twitch.tv/SGTWATX. Just like our Twitter handle.
Okay.
Same thing. Thanks to everybody that's watching us on Twitch and or YouTube. So, but yeah, I'll be really interested to see what happens Saturday, because they've got a match on Saturday at the same time that Texas hosts Rice.
Oh, Austin FC?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I'll be interested to see who's there, not only in the press box, but in the stands.
Oh, I mean, I think we already know how it's going to go. I think it's safe to say.
Well, do we?
Yeah.
Do you think you don't think that? So you're of the opinion that the Austin FC crowd isn't a soccer loyal crowd?
No, that's just something that you just came up with right now. I didn't even say that. I'm saying that the media is going to cover UT.
No, I'm not, I don't care about the media.
But
I'm not. I'm talking about the crowd. I'm talking about the crowd in Q2 Stadium. How big of a crowd will the crowd be impacted by the fact that a lot of people be at DKR?
I don't know how many people. I don't know how much cross pollination there is between the fan bases.
Yeah, see, that's why I'm interested to see what happens on Saturday.
But then again, I'm not interested in the traffic aspects of any of this at all.
What do you mean traffic aspects? You mean as in on the roads?
Like actual travel to either stadium?
Oh, well, I mean,
Think about the peasants, Stu, not Mr. I have special parking.
I'm 10 minutes from the stadium.
See,
I don't have to worry about traffic.
We know. But you have to think of everybody else that's traveling from out of town and that's traveling long distances. I'm assuming that's going to impact some thought of travel to the
People come from out of town for an Austin FC match? Really? Oh. I mean, they come out of town for Texas.
You're serious?
Do they?
Yeah.
Okay.
Dude, there was this article where this guy was traveling from Arkansas. Arkansas to watch this
there's-
team.
Yeah, it's because there's nothing in Arkansas.
There's one fan that has traveled to every match, home and away.
Okay.
That's serious commitment.
That is. And there are going to be those that are committed. You're not understanding me. I know there is going to be that crowd that is loyal to Austin FC no matter what. They don't care about anything else. What I'm wondering is what part of the whole attendance of Q2 Stadium will be that crowd.
Yeah.
And how much will the crowd that is going because there was nothing else going on, how much will that look like?
I know. And that's hard to say because we just don't know how much of the cross-pollination. This is the first time, so we're going to find out.
We will find out. Sad that the mob's not going to be at the game. The Marching Owl Band. That's one of the best things about seeing a Rice game. But they're not coming because of COVID concerns. So.
Oh, I don't know anything about the band.
Yeah, it just came out, I think today. So, I mean, it's not a matter of it's like somebody caught COVID. It's simply they don't want to risk it, I guess. So, anyway.
But the question just comes back to, soccer people, obviously you're going to go to the match. But, again, it's just how much do you want to fight the conditions, no parking and extra traffic because it's a game day for UT? Especially if you're coming from the South End.
Well, if you're coming from South, you're gonna have a time about it.
Yeah, I mean that is enough to deter people from going out. I mean when you can just sit at home and watch it.
Which I think Saturdays.
Is the weather going to be good on Saturday?
We'll talk about it later because we got to get some wrestling. It was
supposed to rain this whole week, and then the weather changed to becoming sunny all the week.
Yeah, real quick update on the weather. By the way, all of our thoughts are with everybody that has been affected by Tropical Storm Nicholas, which was Hurricane Nicholas briefly. So Nicholas hit a little bit further east, so the impact to the Austin area is minimal at best. There might be a shower or two, but we're not going to see anything serious. So, and it's supposed to head into Louisiana tomorrow, and then probably dissipate on Thursday. So, at least that's what I heard today from the National Weather Service. So we'll see.
I figured you'd be on top of that.
Well, it kind of have to be, the whole job thing,
No.
the real job, not the radio job.
No. I didn't realize that was the thing.
Oh yes. So let's get going. Let's kick off this puppy. No, don't kick the puppy. We love puppies.
Speak for yourself.
You don't love puppies?
I'm not a big pet person.
How dare you?
In general,
you're just awful. All right, here we go.
It's the mayor of Slamtown, WWE superstar John Morrison, and you're listening to Sports Guys Talking Wrestling.
When they're not covering the sports world, they're talking about the world of professional wrestling.
It's Sports Guys Talking Wrestling.
Now, with Justin Simmons, here's Stu Myron.
It has spelled the end for so many other superstars. Big E able to fight out of the spear.
But Lashley's got a bad wheel. He couldn't deliver the spear with as much impact and force as usual.
This is the predicament Lashley's in. No excuses. You have to defend your WWE title now.
Look at Lashley muscling up his challenger.
Big E showing off his muscle. Are we going to see it?
Could it be over? Leg up. Will we have a new champion? We do.
Oh my gosh.
Here is your winner and the new WWE Champion, Big E.
Can you believe it?
The New Day can believe it.
Right here in Boston, Massachusetts, we have a new WWE champion, and his name is Big E.
It's a new day. Yes, it is. Sports Guys Talking Wrestling on the Horn. Stu Myrick, Justin the Smash Simmons.
I was expecting you to wear a more festive shirt, though.
Well,
I brought my party shirt.
My shirt, by the way, thanks to WWE for the audio, my shirt is in commemoration of the Colorful Alley Club reunion, which is happening this week. So shout out to everybody that is traveled to Las Vegas. I was fortunate enough to attend that event in 2018. Had a wonderful time where I got to meet all sorts of people, met great friends, and of course several of our friends like Andrew Anderson and Nigel Rabbit and Brittany and James Beard, and a lot of our dear friends are in Las Vegas this week celebrating professional wrestling, celebrating the history of professional wrestling with that fine organization headed up by B. Brian Blair. So yeah, new champion, Big E, finally, after all these years.
It's only been 12.
All these years that fans have clamored and prayed and begged, they pulled the trigger. So, by the way, before we get started, first of all, best wishes to those affected by Tropical Storm Nicholas. It made landfall. Let's see, I gotta keep up with it. Monday night into Tuesday morning. Made landfall right outside Matagorda Bay. Dropped a bunch of rain, especially down in the Houston and Galveston area. So thoughts to them as they make through it. Also, best wishes to Triple H. Do you hear about this?
Yeah.
He had to undergo a procedure following a cardiac event. This is what WWE put out. It was they said it was a genetic. It was some sort of genetic heart condition, but he did go through it successfully. He should make a full recovery. But best wishes to Triple H. So yeah, Monday night on Raw. Well, let's start. Let's back it up. So Monday, actually, I would say it was Friday. It was the previous Friday. We got word that the title match between Bobby Lashley and Randy Orton, which was originally slated for Extreme Rules in a couple weeks, they decided to move it up to Monday Night Raw. So it was like, okay, that's kind of odd.
Well, you have to look at it in context, though. This is NFL opening season or opening week, essentially. And then Monday night has the double Monday night game. So to go against that, you have to bring your best.
Let's stop right there. First of all, it was only single header, no double header this year. Number two, I don't know how well. I know most wrestling fans are not football fans, but I would think Vince knows when the NFL season starts. It's been about the same time for the last 20 years. Now, if you want to go conspiracy, and look, I'm glad they did it because it made for a nice Raw. There is the talk that maybe they got a little spooked because AEW Dynamite beat them in a demo. In the Prime demo, 18-49, and WWE felt, oh, we got to fix this.
Maybe
now I don't know,
but it's like, how can that be their Prime demo of their TV PG?
Well, it has to do with it's advertisers, and you and I had this talk. All I can tell you is talk to advertisers. They will tell you that's the Prime demo, and that goes with the salespeople at our station. They'll tell you the same thing. Prime demo is 18-49. That's the way it is. So, and AEW Dynamite had a higher rating in that demo last week than Monday Night Raw. Now, the other thing is AEW Dynamite had Adam Cole, Bryan Danielson, CM Punk, Ruby Soho. Of course they were going to pop a big number. Oh, by the way, and they're coming off one of their best pay-per-views ever in All Out. So, take that for what you will. Anyway, all that aside, to not announce this until Friday, you could. I mean, if you knew that you wanted to do this, why didn't you announce it? A, why did you announce it for Extreme Rules? And B, why even if you decide to change your mind, why didn't you think of this last Monday?
Well, because they change their mind whenever he wants. So that's when you cover the Cowboys.
Which by the way, it's kind of funny. So then we fast forward to Monday, and we see a tweet from Big E at WWE Big E on Twitter. They put, WWE put up the little graphic, Bobby Lashley versus Randy Orton. He tweets out, "I'm going to cash in my Money in the Bank briefcase."
Yeah.
Which, of course, everybody's going, what? So, I think that tweet went out mid-Monday morning. Now, given WWE's track record, I think a lot of us had kind of the, oh, God, they're going to have him lose the briefcase, aren't they? They're going to do something silly and have him lose the briefcase.
That was a thought for a second.
No, that was a thought up until, I'd say, maybe 8 p.m. Central. I'd say through the first hour. Then I started thinking, well, maybe they're going to actually do it. But up until the show, oh, yeah, I pretty much expected Big E to lose the briefcase.
But that means that the advertising worked, essentially, then. Because now you were intrigued, and I was intrigued, and I'm sure other people were intrigued.
Okay, hold on. Let's take you and I out of this because we have to watch it because we got to talk about it on the show.
No, but it's different, though. It's all like I didn't have to watch it, like, live. I didn't have to go out of my way to watch Raw. I chose to watch that particular part of Raw.
Well, yeah, that part. That particular part.
Because of what was going to happen.
And it was a hell of a game, by the way, Ravens and Raiders.
Yeah, exactly.
That was a hell of a game.
I was just like, no.
I mean, I'm flipping all over the place, so.
Like, my focus isn't on watching it live unless it's really going to be something special, like something like that.
So they go through, and they do the match with Lashley and Randy, and it was a distraction. It was a bit of a distraction finish. Randy Orton gets speared, gets pinned. Okay, so Lashley retains. Lashley decides he wants to beat up Randy Orton, wants to beat up Riddle, puts Randy through the announce desk, and then, quote, comes up with a leg injury. And right at that moment, here comes Big E, and he's going to cash in. And it was so funny because this is the one time when WWE actually did great camera work because they're in the ring and Big E cashes in. So they're face to face, and I think they went to commercial, came back, and you see Bobby Lashley says, I don't want to defend my knee. And Big E just paintbrushes him.
Yeah.
And you see Lashley mouth the words, "Ring the bleepin'," you can figure out what bleepin' stands for, bell. And so we have the match. It's official. He's cashed in. They go through it. Big E gets hit with a spear, gets a near fall for Lashley. Couple other moves. Big E hits the big ending on Lashley. 1, 2, 3. It is a celebration.
Well, yeah.
Here comes the new day. We're celebrating. We're all feeling good. And I was like, oh, my God, WWE actually did it. They gave the fans what they want. Yeah. They never do that. It was great.
It's all about situations, and it doesn't always work out.
Oh, stop. It does about situations. No, they gave the fans what they want. Simple as that.
You think it's that simple? No,
yes.
No.
Yes. Because everybody wanted Big E to win the title.
Everybody wanted Big E to win the title, but it didn't mean it was going to happen right now. It was situational for the reason why it happened the way it did.
That's what we just talked about, Justin. We were just talking about it. They moved it up for whatever reason you want to come up with.
But we didn't laminate why that happened, and I'm telling you
What happened? Why the match happened?
Yeah, they didn't have to move up this match.
No, they didn't.
And this didn't even. This shouldn't have even been the cash in. It could have been the cash in on Roman Reigns.
Right.
Because that's where the story was heading.
Because Big E was on SmackDown.
Right? Okay. So I'm saying everything situation-wise, Brock coming back, all of this stuff kind of put the pieces into place to make this moment
That has
happen.
nothing to do with the fact that what I just said. Fans wanted Big E to be a world champion. Whether he cashed in on Roman or whether he cashed in on Bobby, it didn't matter. That's what I'm saying. They want him to be a world champion.
I'm not disagreeing with that.
That's the thing. It's so... Why it happened, I mean, okay, yes, he went with Bobby Lashley instead of Roman Reigns, and it could be a booking thing. It could be whatever. I don't care. I'm just happy because Big E's a champion.
Okay.
And I think a lot of fans are that way. So, yeah, that was – but it was shocking because WWE actually followed through on it, which is something they don't do very often. You know, if they – like I said – up until probably about halfway through the show, I fully expected Big E to lose.
I didn't.
And crush everybody's hopes. Just because that's what WWE does.
Nah.
Because Vince loves heat for whatever reason. Whatever you want to define heat as, remember what we talked about months ago about how Vince hates baby faces? This is Vince must be a fan of. Remember the movie Spaceballs?
Yeah.
Mel Brooks, classic. Remember what Dark Helmet said to Lone Star during their version of a lightsaber scene? He said this.
So, Lone Star, now you see that evil will always triumph because good is dumb.
That could be Vince McMahon.
Yeah. That's what
he hates baby faces.
That's what the fans wanted.
But that's what we mean. The fans wanted what?
When the fans changed, he changed late, and then when the fans wanted something else, he changes late. He's always a step behind, but he eventually,
one step. I'd go 5, but or he says no. You fans are stupid. I'm going to give you what you should have, not what you want.
But then but we've had this conversation where it just comes back just to like personal taste of baby faces and heels and tweeners and things like that. I don't think every fan necessarily liked Big E because he's a baby face to win it. They just like Big E as the persona of the person who he displays on
Here's the other
out
thing.
The ring.
Well, but see, here's the thing. There's another point. So there was talk, months ago, whatever, that in order for Big E to become a world champion, they'd have to turn him heel. He'd have to stop doing the silliness and the stuff with the New Day, and they may need to make him a serious heel. And they didn't. It's Big E the way we love Big E. The gyrating, tossing the jacket, doing the wiggles and the preaching and all that. And oh, by the way, when he won the title, celebrating with Kofi and Xavier. That's that was all the best things in one spot right there.
Yeah, when wrestling's done right, it's really good.
It was done right, and not because some goofball thinks everything should be evil and dark and sinister. See, I've always had a problem with that. It's like, dude, you gotta have some happiness. You gotta have some good stuff. Hey, Mandy Rose just won a match on NXT. Oh, and she's not blonde. By the way, it is Tuesday night. We are taping this on Tuesday night, and we are watching NXT 2.0. Should be 3.0. Because there was that reality competition thing. We had the veteran, the rookie. Then you had the NXT that we grew to love, and now you got this. So it should be 3.0. That's actually,
I'm
mislabeled.
I'm interested to see if I'm going to like this version of NXT.
I'm interested too. We've had a few things. We'll talk about it here in a little bit. Couple other things. The This whole Charlotte and Alexa thing. Oh my God. Are you going to go out and buy yourself a Charlie doll?
No,
because it is on WWE Shop.
No, but
for
I think,
like $40.
No, but I think it's a brilliant idea, and it's definitely going to sell.
You know, sure. It is kind of hilarious. I will say this because again, I am not a fan. I'm not a fan of the storyline, but fine. That's just me. And don't argue trying to convince me otherwise.
But it's not an argument if I'm just stating my opinion.
No, you will preach at me until I'm supposed to say, "Oh, then I love it." No,
I don't expect.
I know you like it. I don't. Simple as that.
It's like if I come out and I tell you, "Look, Alexa Bliss is a great character with the doll because she really does like get the love from all like the emo people." Am I wrong? She appeals.
No, it's not wrong. But again, I don't like it. I think it's silly. I will say this. I'll give you this one thing. So the last two encounters we've seen between Alexa and Charlotte, we have not seen voodoo. We have not seen the magic stuff. And I'll give her credit for that. Now I'm fully expecting that to come back sometime.
As it should.
Because then it's then I go back to that whole thing of, well, then why don't you just hypnotize her to lay down so you can get the 1, 2, 3 and get the title?
It doesn't always work that way.
Why not? It's her magic.
But you know how magic is; it fluctuates.
Stop! Good God. Anyway, so that was interesting.
We've had 20 years of the Undertaker. His stuff fluctuated. It's okay.
Yeah, but his wasn't as supernaturally, at least in my opinion. But hey, it's whatever. Like I said, to each their own taste. Not for me. Meanwhile, on SmackDown, and in fact, as we're watching NXT, they're showing the promo for SmackDown. Roman Reigns has got it coming from all sides. First, he's got Brock Lesnar. And oh, by the way, I will say this. I laughed. Now, I had to watch it, afterwards because I was out doing Lake Travis football. But seeing Paul Heyman and his reaction with Brock in the ring and Roman in the ring, and oh my God, which one does he serve? And he started doing the whole "I am the advocate," whatever. That was kind of funny. I'll give him that. I like that.
Oh, but he's a terrific character in his own right.
Paul Heyman's the best. So he has Brock Lesnar, but at Extreme Rules, he's going to face Finn Balor, except it's the Demon Finn Balor.
Oh, totally expected.
Which I don't know how I feel about that. I like the Demon, but it has gotten a very miniature, very brief version of the Undertaker's WrestleMania streak. The Demon doesn't get beat. The Demon has not been beaten. Finn Balor has, but the Demon hasn't. So now you're going to toss that away for the sake of. Now, maybe they do a schmozz finish. Maybe they do something.
Exactly.
Goofy, which, all right, whatever. And I kind of hope they do, as much as I hate schmozz finishes. Because I think they should save that for, like I said, when you have these feuds. And they shouldn't be doing the Demon all the time, obviously. But, every once in a blue moon, hey.
Well, this is like the first time we've seen that Demon character in 18 months or something like that?
Since he...
It's been a while.
Since he left SmackDown to go to NXT. The real NXT 2.0.
I'm like, okay, wait.
The real NXT... No, I'm just... The black and gold brand, let's put it that way. So, yeah, it'll be the first time we've seen the Demon since then. So, it's kind of good. I like that. The WWE Draft, we now know it will start Friday, October 1st on SmackDown on Fox. It will continue Monday, October 4th on Raw on the USA Network. The timing could not be more perfect because it's right before T-shirt season, a.k.a. Survivor Series. I mean, you ask somebody to really care about a brand they've been on for 5 weeks.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I was like, what do you mean T-shirt season?
Because they all wear either the Raw or SmackDown T-shirt. So anyway, there's that. So get ready for the draft coming up beginning of October. And did you see this?
I'm not sure.
So you and I cover college athletics. You know, we're with the flagship station for the University of Texas. So we've heard all about name, image, and likeness.
Yeah.
And the new rules. Well, we've seen things like Bijan Robinson, the star running back for the Longhorns, signed a deal with Pinkerton's Barbecue in Dallas and Houston. There's one of the Longhorns has a deal with OrangeBloods.com, our friends Jeff Ketchum and Anwar Richardson and those guys. Well, Gable Steveson, I can't say Stevenson because there's no N. Gable Steveson just won a gold medal in Tokyo in wrestling. He is the defending NCAA heavyweight champion. Well, he has used that to sign a 3-year deal with WWE.
Yeah.
How about that? So he will make appearances for WWE. He is still enrolled at the University of Minnesota, will still compete on their wrestling team, including defending that NCAA heavyweight championship. In the meantime, WWE has said they're going to set up like a training facility center type thing in Minnesota so that he can train there. Plus, he will have access to the Performance Center in Orlando.
Well, yeah.
And then when Gable graduates, then he will join the full roster as a full member. So, good on Gable Steveson. This was his dream. So, got to be happy for him to use those rules to his advantage in order to join WWE.
But it's really interesting that WWE would be like the first to do this because they're always kind of like on the forefront of production and taking wrestling internationally, right? And they're the first ones to really jump on this NIL and be like, hey, we can sponsor you, right? But then it's kind of like you're contracted to us for the future. And so I'm really interested to see like what other companies might do that to some of these kids that might not be going pro in their chosen sport, but be like, hey, we have an agreement that once you leave, you are ours.
Yeah, I'm wondering if we'll see.
And that's a little kind of a gray area that I don't think people were expecting.
Right. I'm wondering if we'll see, say, a football player or someone in track sign with, WWE, AEW, Ring of Honor, whatever. That'll be interesting to see. I mean, this is the first step. Now, again, luckily, Gable Steveson is a wrestler. So kind of made sense. So, like I said, we shall see. Another big guy. We got all sorts of big guys on NXT 2.0. And I forget this guy's now. I've seen the face. So anyway, we're going to take a quick timeout. When we come back, we'll give you some more thoughts on NXT 2.0, as well as get into the latest from AEW. That's coming up next. Sports Guys Talking Wrestling on the Horn. Oh, good Lord. Drake Maverick's about to get killed by Ridge Holland.
I know. I like how you were like, oh, we're seeing all the big guys. And I'm like,
and then there's Drake Maverick, who's been popping up on Raw recently.
Oh, but he wants his belt back.
He wants the 24/7 belt, currently held by Reggie.
Have you been liking the Reggie segments? Because Reggie's quite athletic. He's really athletic.
I like Reggie. The 24/7 thing has kind of run its course, but I think as long as we can see Reggie doing the flips and stuff, I don't mind it.
But see,
it's kind of entertaining.
Well, it's already ran its course. They're never going to get rid of it because it's just another place for some of the talent to be on the show.
Be on TV.
Essentially,
the 24/7 geeks, as a lot of people call them. It did worry me that they had Jeff Hardy as one of the geeks.
I was going to say, don't you have like a replica 24/7?
Yes,
belt?
it's on the other side of the wine thing.
I was like, see, I mean, they sell, so.
So anyway, yeah.
But you got it like right when it first came out, right?
Yes. Yeah, this we finally saw them take a commercial break during a match, which, let's see, it is 8:15 p.m. Central. They did it during the women's tag match. But yeah, that was interesting.
With the brunette Mandy Rose.
With the brunette Mandy Rose and the former, I forget her name. She was the other half of Darby Allin, and somebody else against Casey Catanzaro and who was the other one? I forget. Yeah, of course, Rich Holland's going to win.
But
he's a brute.
But he drilled him.
Yeah, they love Rich Holland.
What do you call that finish? It was kind of like a jackhammer, but into a side brain buster, essentially.
Could be. Who is this with Drake Maverick?
Oh, it has his name on the.
Did it?
On the ticket.
I missed it.
Underneath.
On the lower third?
Yeah. So it did say he was with somebody. I didn't know who it was either. Like, I don't know who this is.
That's Mackenzie Mitchell.
I don't know who this is.
Tommy Chompers.
Yeah.
You don't know who that is? Come on.
All I know is I'm looking at a guy that is not going to be winning the NXT title.
No.
Even though he's in the match.
No. And our good friend Eddie Cross from Fight Night, he texted me earlier, because I said, I want LA Knight to win the title.
We all want LA Knight to win the title.
He said, yeah, and then Ciampa, O'Reilly, and Dunn will get cut. Well, and Dunn won't get cut. He was just reported by Fightful. New 3-year deal with WWE. So that's from Sean Ross Sapp and the folks at Fightful. So Pete Dunne will be with at least NXT for a while.
So does that make him the favorite for you tonight?
I don't know.
It's like for the people on Twitch, we're all seeing this live.
Yeah. We are like I said, we are watching NXT right now. Here comes the Diamond Mine. We're going to get the what were they calling them? Oh, well, are we getting the two? What do they call them? Creed brothers. Yes, the Creed brothers.
I swear they just got jumped, or somebody got jumped during one of those segments.
I saw that. It looked like Kyle O'Reilly.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. And I was like, oh, okay, well.
What if he got jumped by Roddy Strong? So anyway, interesting. So interesting. Yeah. Interesting look for the new NXT.
Before you jump into it,
yes,
I just have to ask because I was going to ask you at the end, but it's been on my mind. Did you see the report on SWE Fury?
Yes, online? I have. Yes, I have.
Okay, I just wanted to ask you.
Yeah. For those of you, and we're not going to address it on the radio show just because I don't have enough details, and I don't want to put it out there because I don't know all the details.
Well, but it obviously came up on social media, so I was like, wow.
Well, yeah, but a lot of stuff comes on social media,
Yeah, but for a regional company that is
for the sake of full disclosure. So apparently there is a report that SW Fury is losing money. They had to cancel a couple of events. Right now, they're scheduled for a November event in San Antonio, but that's in question. And there is a content creator named Hannibal.
Yeah,
and I met him at a couple of the SWE shows.
Hannibal's well known.
And so he apparently he hasn't been paid for his content. Apparently, they're losing money. We don't know how much longer they're going to be around.
Essentially, yeah.
I saw somebody jokingly tweet out. So the redneck Wrestle Circus didn't last as long as the real Wrestle Circus.
Oh wow!
I was like, okay,
wow, that's pretty dead.
That's a pretty big hit, but
But like that's what I heard that they would be putting up like big people showing up, and then those people would no show, and then the fans, you brought fans expecting a show, and then certain people weren't there.
Yeah, and that was
And I understand once or twice, but if it was a consistent thing, that's just bad business.
And again, I'm not gonna give out too much, but I was told by somebody that I trust that they expected SW Fury to fold pretty soon. They did not trust those that are being put into power. Had quite very derogatory things to say about one individual, And again, like I said, I trust this person. So
but that's what happens in the business. It's just like that's the business aspect of it, and
It is.
everybody's
It's
always in
sad.
it for different things.
and it's sad because they were putting out
They had a good
product.
product.
They had a good product. I was at several of their shows. The fans were into it. You got to see some great talent with Jacob Fatu and guys like the Boogeyman and our friend Jack Stain was there, and Crimson and several others. So, you hate to see it happen, but hey, it is a business.
But like,
we went through this already with Wrestle Circus.
I guess the sad part is that they had like local TV deals, and apparently they already lost them all.
Yeah, apparently they're all gone. We got another debuting talent, I guess.
I was gonna say
from Chicago.
I was gonna say is that Corbin's like cousin or something.
I don't know.
He has like the hat.
He's
and
got
the
a cigar.
chain. That makes him a tough guy, eh?
Yeah, except it's in Chicago. But hey,
there was a lot of gangsters that hung out in Chicago.
Oh yes, there were. Interesting. I may have to go back and watch this again when we're not doing a show.
My thing is, it's like how much of this is going to be like Shotgun Saturday Night, where they tried really hard for like 3 weeks to try to make it really different. Remember? Do you remember when they were shooting from the bars and stuff, and they had the Undertaker?
Yeah,
and they had like big names out, right?
Tony D'Angelo coming soon to NXT 2.0.
Told you he's supposed to be a tough guy, eh?
He's a tough guy, eh?
Wow, these guys look like big and jacked.
The Creed brothers, straight out of the Create Your Own Wrestler factory.
These guys would be very similar to that, honestly, just smaller.
A whole lot smaller.
Because I would wear tights like that, honestly. I mean, I like the colorful.
By the way, Braun Breaker, he wore a singlet that looked like he took it straight out of his dad's closet.
Yeah, that's what I was hearing. So
that was, I mean,
what kind of boots was he wearing? Did he wear the mismatched boots?
He didn't have mismatched boots.
Okay.
They were matching, but there was no doubt who his dad was. It was pretty obvious. So, all right,
did he look good though in the ring?
Yeah, he looked great. Yeah, he looked great, and like I said, the match was good, and it wasn't a schmozz finish or something. He won, and won clean. So, all right, let's start the second deal. Our friend Rodney Garza. If you want to have Roman, they would. Oh, he's talking about the it was perfect timing on the perfect individual. If he would have gone after Roman, they would have.
Yeah, that's my thing too.
They wouldn't have beat him.
Yeah,
beat Roman. Yeah, I agree.
I
agree. And again, like what we were talking about, Roman is still slated. We got the Demon. You're probably gonna have Brock Lesnar. Likely, it's looking like the Saudi show.
The thing is, though, it's like, wow, we actually have Brock Lesnar to thank for this wonderful moment because he decided to come back. Because if he didn't, he'd probably go through with the Roman Reigns storyline and Big E doesn't win it.
All right, so give me, instant knee-jerk reaction. Does Roman beat Brock in Saudi Arabia?
Ooh,
if that matches,
that's a huge win for him if he does, right? But
Smosh finish, but I think Roman keeps the title.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I see happening.
I would go with that. Yeah,
it would be
because they don't want Roman losing the title just yet.
It would be a good opportunity though, since it is the Saudi show and they go all out for that, to bring somebody from the past for a one night off thing.
Goldberg.
Oh, they could.
I think they got a couple more matches.
That would be, unfortunately, as much as I would care not to see it, don't care to see it rather, but that would be perfect.
As much as I love Goldberg, I kind of hope they don't. But
I don't want to see him wrestle. But if he came out to cost him the match in some form and fashion to get Brock over, then I would take it.
Yeah. All right, let's start with the second segment. Be right back, Twitch and YouTube. Sports Guys Talking Wrestling on the Horn. Stu Myrick, Justin Smash Simmons. Sorry I blew your ears out that time. With
Well, talk about fans.
It was the new music for the Lucha Brothers from our good friend Mikey Ruckus.
Exactly. That's what I was going to say.
That was a hell of interest at All Out.
Exactly. And I was like, these guys, talking about fans that wanted to see people win championships.
Yes.
The Lucha Brothers were one of those long time coming.
Yeah, you weren't with us. And again, big thanks to Nick Hausman from Wrestling Inc. for joining me last week. Give me your thoughts on All Out.
I mean, obviously, it pretty much lived up to a hype, which is kind of hard to do in professional wrestling. And I'm going to say that this was, like you said earlier in the show, that it was probably their best put together pay-per-view that they have done as All Elite Wrestling. So,
yeah, I do.
So, I mean,
I
kudos
agree.
to them, obviously. And I was like, it was good to see Bryan Danielson. I'm not.
I mean, it was so funny too because you and I and 80 Cross were here in the Sports Guys Talking Wrestling World headquarters watching it, and so they get to the end. Kenny Omega pins Christian Cage, and they're beating him up. Then we hear Adam Cole's new music. Here comes Adam Cole. Here comes Adam Cole. And he comes down, faces off, and then super kicks Jungle Boy. So he's rejoined the Elite, and they're hugging. And then, he talked about... Kenny was talking about, we're elite, yada, yada. And then the Flight of the Valkyries. And here comes Bryan Danielson. And I think it was so funny because I think the crowd, when they saw Adam Cole come out, they thought, okay, that's the
That
debut.
had to be it.
Which, okay, that's great. But I think people were expecting Bryan Danielson. But then when Bryan Danielson came out, the roof blew off the Now Arena.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that was just nuts.
People did not leave disappointed.
No, they did not. So, and now it appears the American Dragon will be the next challenger to Kenny Omega and the AEW World Championship, which could be at Full Gear in November.
Wow. I'm just like, man, how many other people do they have to put over to prove that Kenny Omega, I mean, whoever beats Kenny Omega better be legit, like the next guy.
Well, I'm not saying Bryan Danielson's going to beat him.
No, and
he's just it looks like he's going to be the next guy.
But that's what I'm saying, Stu.
You think Bryan Danielson is going to beat?
No, I'm saying that you're going to feed Kenny Omega another top tier wrestler for him to beat to prove that he is almost pretty much unbeatable. Even though we've seen him lose, right? But he's pretty much unbeatable. He's still the best in the world,
Yeah.
And so whoever beats him for the AEW title, because that's the one that, if you're watching AEW wrestling, yes, the Impact and the AAA title make appearances, but storyline-wise, your focus is going to be on that AEW title. That's the one that means the most out of this whole.
Yeah. And he doesn't have the Impact title. Remember?
Yeah.
Christian Cage. So, I'm still hanging on, pun intended, to Hangman being the guy. And I get the feeling we will see him return sooner rather than later. I don't know if he'll do it at the Arthur Ashe Stadium show, but I get the feeling he will be coming back. And this is again, unlike Vince, who does it once in a blue moon, Tony likes to give the fans what they want, and I think this is the story that needs to have an ultimate conclusion and a happy conclusion, and they've been working on this story for the last 18 months. Talk about long-term storytelling.
Yeah.
He's got to come back. He's got to put the Dark Order back together, and then take the title off of Kenny. So we'll see. It should be interesting. It should be interesting to see. Bryan Danielson during the post-event media scrum, he talked about he wants to see how he measures up, or he wants to see how the talent in AEW measures up to him. So should be fascinating. By the way, AEW has announced they're going to do Dynamite Live plus a Rampage taping on Thanksgiving Eve at Wintrust Arena in Chicago. They are loving Chicago. By the way, the Wintrust Arena, last time AEW was there was Revolution in February 2020, the last pay-per-view before the pandemic started.
I mean,
so there you go.
It's not a bad idea though to run in areas that you already know you're going to have good turnout.
Yeah. No, I agree. And Chicago has proven to be a AEW hotbed.
They've always been a pro wrestling crowd.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, they've been a great wrestling city. And so as I mentioned, we are taping this on Tuesday night if you're listening to us on the Horn. So we are watching NXT quote 2.0. In fact, they're about ready to start the Fatal 4-Way for the NXT Championship. They have not changed the title belt just yet, although I expect that to happen soon. But
we're expecting that. That's like the whole point of this show. We wanted to see who's going to be the new face of NXT 2.0.
You got to see who wins
going
it.
forward.
So if you had not heard, Samoa Joe on Monday put out a video basically saying that due to a injury, quote unquote, he is relinquishing the NXT Championship. Now, I'm of the same thought as Brian Alvarez from Wrestling Observer, in that I don't think it's an injury. I think he is unable to compete, and you can take that you can interpret that however you feel, however you see fit.
We're talking about the conspiracy theory of like,
no.
Was he really injured as opposed
No.
to just...
I don't think it's like an injury, but I think there is something to where he is unable to compete.
Yeah. So you're saying essentially.
But they're using injury just because it's easier to do that. Yes,
but it's not. I thought you were trying to say that it was manufactured in order to divvy up the belt so they could have this brand relaunch, because that makes the most sense. You're going to have a brand relaunch. You get a new champion to get things started. You have a big reason to tune in why this is like a soft launch of something new.
Right.
But you're telling me that's what my first thought was, is like, oh, is he really hurt? Is there a reason why he really can't compete? Or did they just decide like, hey, we want fresh faces going forward, so we're just going to strip him of the title and we're just going to make it a fatal 4-way for the champion? But then if you do that, what? Okay, so apparently Von Wagner is apparently going to take the place of somebody. I guess Kyle O'Reilly. Whoever got jumped, which I think was O'Reilly. I think it was O'Reilly, which, man, that sucks. So I really want to see Kyle O'Reilly in this match. Interesting that it's the same title belt, unless they have a new one. Well, that's what I'm saying. They as far as we know, we don't know if they have a new one in the ready to go or not or whatever. But I would think, if you wanted to just get the title off of Joe, go ahead and have this match. This match was already basically a number one contenders match. So you have this match, then next week the winner faces Joe, wins the title, boom. I'm trying to figure out why. So the fact that they didn't do that makes me think, yes, there is something with Joe, because if you believe the rumor and innuendo, he was supposed to also be backstage for Monday Night Raw. Yeah. And he wasn't. So my guess is, unless they're doing a really good job of selling this change, there's something that is preventing him from wrestling and being in the building. Again, interpret that as you see fit. But now we see Tommaso Ciampa. So it's Ciampa, LA Knight. I almost called him Eli Drake again. Pete Dunne and Von Wagner, the new guy. And here's the thing. So, and I saw some chatter on Twitter after LA Knight lost to
Braun Breaker, a.k.a. Rex Steiner, a.k.a. Bronson Rick Steiner, that, yeah, they're going to put the title on LA Knight. Now I'm wondering if maybe this Von Wagner is the man. Or do they put it on Pete Dunne now that he has allegedly signed his new deal?
That's what we're going to find out here in the next 25 minutes. That's what we got, right?
Well, no, because he's still got the wedding. He's still got the
oh, we can't forget about the wedding.
Can't forget about
that's what
Dexter
I tuned
Lumis
in for.
And Indy Hartwell, the wedding. A couple other notes. So NXT 2.0, the new graphics. The opening theme, if you've been watching the little 30-second promos that they've been running on Raw and SmackDown about NXT, you've heard that music bed that goes underneath it. That is their new opening theme.
By Wale.
Interesting. The set, the entrance ramp looks like a scaled down Raw or SmackDown entrance set, which is kind of interesting. They have not referenced where they are wrestling as the Capitol Wrestling Center, as far as I've heard. So wondering if maybe they've done away with that name. At least the first 3 matches, they waited until after the match to have a commercial break.
Nice.
Which is, the last time I saw that may have been in the 90s.
It's been a while.
I mean, and I love it.
It's quite refreshing.
It is. You actually get to see the whole match. I mean, but be that as may. So they're doing that. We have seen a lot of new faces tonight, as I mentioned.
A lot of big
Braun
people.
Breaker, yes. And if you see Braun Breaker, and he was wearing a very colorful singlet. It looks like Rick Steiner grew about 3 inches and got younger. You could see that he is indeed the son of the dog-faced gremlin. We also saw, who was it? Josh Briggs and Brooks Jensen. They were in a tag team match against Eichner and Bartel from Imperium. By the way, I will say this: the Imperium entrance on this new set did look pretty cool. That looked pretty sharp. We also saw B-Dab from Hit Row make her in-ring debut. So, and now we're seeing Von Wagner, who I forget who he is, but
yeah, where is this guy come from?
I don't know.
He's huge.
He is huge.
He's got the look that you would expect that they were searching for.
He does. Very interesting.
But for him to be placed into this fatal four-way just really adds to the intrigue, because it was like, I really didn't think O'Reilly was going to win it. But
I know, but
there was an offshoot chance now that Cole was gone that, he might get his time to shine.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah. Well, in fact, that was the whole reason Adam Cole stayed in NXT, was so he could do the honors for his friend, one of his best friends, Kyle O'Reilly.
Yeah, I thought that was.
You think of it. I mean, you can go all the way back to their Future Shock days and the rivalry in Ring of Honor and everywhere, New Japan, whatever. So yeah, so really cool. So anyway, that's the initial thoughts on NXT 2.0. Should be 3.0. When we come back from this timeout, I'll let you know what's happening in independent wrestling around the state. And a couple other notes. You're listening to Sports Guys Talking Wrestling, and you're listening to The Horn. Let's see. 24, 19, 14, 38, 7, 24. That's 38, 39. So 39, so 6 minutes. Okay, so we got about 6 minutes for the last segment. Interesting though. Okay, now I got. You see, now I'm curious. All right, Von Wagner. Let's see, Von Wagner, WWE. He is Cal Bloom. Remember? What's his name? Dadgummit. He is the son of. Oh, who is it? Who's the guy? Who was the guy? He was on. He was in the WWE back in the. I'm trying to find it. Okay, here we go. Oh, dickgummit. And we're back. Cal Bloom. Let's see if this has it. Cal Bloom. Oh, what's his dad's name? Wayne Bloom. He was in WWE or WWF as Bo Beverly. He was also in WCW and the AWA.
Yeah, he was one of the Beverly Brothers.
Yes. So yeah. So a lot of second generation rookies tonight on NXT 2.0. They're actually calling it that too.
I know. I'm pretty sure they'll drop that at some point. You know,
you would think they'd have to. You know,
it just reminds me of Matt Hardy.
Oh yeah.
That's the first thing I thought of when they went NXT
version 1.0.
Exactly,
That's right.
and I was like, so this is version 2.0. This is just totally Matt Hardy throwback thing.
Yeah, why not? Although with all this color, I would think it's Jeff. But hey,
I am kind of surprised that it looks like they're. I hate to say it like this, but it looks like they're kind of wrestling like in a high school gym because there's the lighting. It's just so bright.
Okay. Yeah, you're right.
It's like, hey, we're at Universal Studios, Florida, and welcome to...
Well, it's kind of funny because AEW's doing AEW dark tapings at Universal Studios.
Oh, I know. And I wasn't...
But theirs isn't lit like this.
Yeah, this reminds me of like WCW Power Plant back in the day at Universal Studios.
Yes, worldwide.
Yeah.
Worldwide, yeah. Power Plant was the development.
Yeah, WCW Saturday night.
Yeah, or Saturday night, yeah.
Wherever that studio was, which was at Universal Studios, it looks like this because the lighting is like it kind of distracts from like the in-ring.
It does a little bit, and it's
also weird to see that they don't have like traditional barriers. It's like hockey style plexiglass.
It is in its raised bleachers.
Yeah, and you can see the fans' feet.
Tommy
it's
Chompers
kind of weird.
Making a gaze at Goldie. AKA the NXT Championship.
You know, as much as I'm not like a super huge fan, it's like I respect his work and I love like how that storyline has carried over throughout the whole time.
Oh, absolutely. It looks like a studio. It looks like a true, like a like you said.
It looks like NWA stuff. Like how it's like they have more lighting.
Yeah,
it's not so bare bones, but you can see like the camera lights and stuff.
Yeah, when the NWA was at Georgia Public Broadcasting in Atlanta, it's got that same feel. It really does.
Like all they're missing is like a side table so they can take interviews somewhere. Honestly, that's what it is.
Yes, absolutely. So
man, this guy's huge though.
Yeah. Did you watch the Charlotte and it wasn't Charlotte, it was Nikki and Tamina. Their match. They got. Oh my God.
No, I skipped.
It was the finish was botched. I think Tamina was supposed to win.
Oh yeah, but Nikki won.
But Nikki got the pin. But they went in and played Tamina's theme and announced Tamina as the winner.
Wow, I heard about it, but I
mean, it was like all levels of bad.
But you know, they gave us the ending, and that's all that anybody was talking about.
That's right.
So.
Yeah, nobody cares because Big E won the title. That's all they care about.
I mean, that's like, as much as I look at it situational wise, it's like, okay, this wasn't supposed to happen this soon, but it lined up this way, and it's like I love the fact that it lined up like this because it finally was a good moment in wrestling for the WWE that really needed to have a good moment.
They finally got something right, and it wasn't like by accident. They actually. I wouldn't totally by accident.
Yeah, I was gonna say no. Let's admit they still looked into it.
Yes,
but the fact that they went through with it,
and like I said, whether you believe they did it because they wanted to hotshot something because of Monday Night Football, or they wanted to hotshot something because of AEW,
still made
or
the right
whatever.
Call.
Hey, I'm still now. The question then becomes, okay, what happens next week?
Yeah, I mean, that's the hardest part about becoming champion. It's like, you work so hard to become the champion. The hardest part is defending the title because, like, that's how your legacy is remembered.
Right. Well, yeah, there's that. But I'm talking about what happens with Raw next week. Do we go back to the 43 rematches and, and the very haphazard storytelling?
You would think through partially. Like, they're not going to change Raw overnight. Wow.
They did put it on Tommy Ciampa.
That's so
okay.
random.
All right. I think that may have been the surprise of the night.
So much for new direction, huh?
Yeah, they're putting the title back on Tommaso Ciampa, at least for the time being.
I really thought it was going to be LA Knight.
Let's see how long he holds it. And, oh, by the way, I want Big E to have a wonderfully lengthy and meaningful title run.
Who doesn't? But I mean, like, dude, this is random, though.
Ciampa? Okay.
Yeah, because if anything, you figure it was done because he just re-signed. But then, this is perfect booking, though, because I really felt it could have been any of these dudes, except for Ciampa, though, because even the new guy who just got into this match, he's so big. Like, I just it wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah.
And, like, right when he hit his little finisher there, I thought he really was going to win. But, wow.
I'm
shocked.
Yeah.
I'm speechless.
I am surprised.
So, are we going to see Ciampa versus Gargano again? I mean, I'm not hating on it, but it's like that's. I mean, that's like
it feels like that story is done.
I know, but
it
now
really
he has
does.
the title.
It really well, but Gargano had the title and Ciampa. They both had the title. But I'm saying it feels like that rivalry is completed. I
do like that new set though.
Well, like I said, it looks like a miniature Raw or SmackDown set. It's not bad. It's just, you've now made it look like the other shows for something that's supposed to be not the other shows.
But good for Ciampa though, coming back from the neck injury where he might have never worked
Absolutely.
again, and now he's champion. That's awesome though.
All right, let's open the final segment with that. All right, be right back, Twitch and YouTube. Sports Guys Talking Wrestling on the Horn. Stu Myrick, Justin the Smash Simmons. So we just finished watching, as I mentioned, taping this on Tuesday night. The Fatal 4-Way has concluded, and your new NXT champion, Tommaso Ciampa.
So odd. Was not ready for that.
Yeah, that's definitely not a pick. And I kind of scanned Twitter quickly earlier this evening. That was not. I don't think I saw too many people picking that. I'm okay with it, but it does seem kind of odd.
Considering it's supposed to be like a reboot, and not to like give up too much, just because if you watch the live version on Twitch, you would have heard us talking about it. But
yes,
they had a different person instead of Kyle O'Reilly. They had this
Kyle O'Reilly was jumped in the locker room, so you had Von Wagner,
big tall looking guy,
who is Cal Bloom, the son of Wayne Bloom,
former Beverly brother.
Yeah, former Beverly brother, also competed in WCW and the AWA. And yeah, he had every bit of the height that his dad does. So, interesting. But yes, Tommaso Ciampa and Goldie are back together.
It's just really because Pete Dunne didn't win after the contract re-signing. I'm really surprised. If anything, it was supposed to be him after that news broke.
Our friend Sean Ross Sapp from Fightful reported that Pete Dunne has, in fact, re-upped his deal with WWE 3 years. I think it's another 3 years. Anyway, he will be in NXT and maybe the main roster for the foreseeable future. So we'll see. We've got independent wrestling happening this weekend in and around the state of Texas. We got to let you know about it. It starts Friday night. Texoma Pro Wrestling holding It's Begun Friday night at the Sherman Elks Lodge in Sherman up in North Texas. Bell time 8 p.m. Adam Asher, Charlie Haas, TJP from Impact Wrestling, and Shane Savage will be there. That's Texoma Pro Wrestling this Friday night in Sherman. Paye Pro Wrestling presents Cheat Code Saturday at the 360 Arena in Arlington. Bell time 7 p.m. Lance Archer, Davey Richards, Chandler Hopkins, Alex Zane, and more. That's Paye Pro Wrestling this Saturday night in Arlington. And then Hurricane Pro Wrestling has live pro wrestling this Saturday at the Ford Exhibit Hall in Beaumont. Bell time 7 p.m. Ruthless Ryan Davidson, Edge Stone, Sky Blue, who has been featured on AEW, Maddie Rinkowski, and more. That's Hurricane Pro Wrestling this Saturday night in Beaumont. And that's a look at independent wrestling around the area. If you get a chance, go out and support independent wrestling wherever you are. Couple other notes. Remember Roxy?
Well, I was going to say the reason you go out and support independent pro wrestling is for stories like this.
That's right. That's right. Absolutely. Roxy, who we got to meet when she was training with Booker T at Reality Wrestling. Started wrestling when she was like 13.
Yeah, she was a teenager.
I mean, she's 19 now. Roxy at Ring of Honor's Death Before Dishonor pay-per-view defeated Miranda Alize in the finals. Roxy, the Prodigy, is your new Ring of Honor Women's World Champion.
Very excited for her.
That's
I mean,
awesome.
It was really a wide open field. Like, I really couldn't tell
yeah,
who was going to win.
That's a great one. You had Angelina Love, you had Mandy Leon, you had Miranda Alize. I think Holiday was part of it.
Yeah, but this kid lives up to her billing. She's
did.
really that good. And I'm like, that's so awesome for her.
Could not be happier for Roxy. She is an absolute sweetheart. Just a wonderful young lady. I know Booker T is tickled pink. He had two of his students in the finals.
Yeah,
with both Roxy and Miranda.
Either way, he was going to have a winner.
I mean, yeah, they're doing good things, and I've said it time and time again. They're doing really good things at Reality Wrestling. So, congratulations to Roxy. Couple other notes: Josh Woods defeated Jonathan Gresham on that same pay-per-view. Josh Woods is the new Ring of Honor Pure Champion.
Yeah.
Kind of a shock.
Again,
I didn't expect Gresham to drop the title so soon. So,
neither did I.
no other titles changed hands. They did have a tag title change before the pay-per-view. The tag titles are now back with La Facción Ingobernables with Kenny King and Dragon Lee. Dragon Lee's still your TV champion as well. So Ring of Honor doing good things as they always do. Impact Wrestling has announced they will be taping Knockouts Knockdown, an all-women event, this weekend in Nashville. It is set to air in October on Impact Plus. They have announced that Mercedes Martinez, formerly of NXT, will be there. Plus, they'll be doing a Monsters Ball match in memory of Daphne,
which is cool.
Yeah, I think she was in one of the first women's Monster Ball matches in Impact /TNA. So be on the look for that in October on Impact Plus. That should be a great event. And that'll do it for this week's Sports Guys Talking Wrestling. You can follow Justin the Smash Simmons on Twitter, Instagram, and Twitch at The Smash Simmons. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Stu Myrick. That's STEWMYRICK. You can follow the show on Twitter and Twitch at SGTWATX. You can find us on Facebook and Instagram and YouTube at Sports Guys Talking Wrestling. We live stream on YouTube most Tuesday nights at 7:30 p.m. Central and on Twitch. You can also catch us Wednesday nights at 9 p.m. Central on the flagship station for the Texas Longhorns and your radio home in Austin for the Dallas Cowboys. We are the Horn 104.9 and 101.9 FM at AM 1260. You can also catch us anytime on demand by either going to hornfm.com and click on the On-Air tab or by subscribing to us on your favorite podcast provider. Make sure you rate your review us while you're there. For Justin, I'm Stu. Thank you so much for giving some of your time here tonight. We will see you at the matches.
Good
radio show's over. There we go. Good stuff. Good job. Good job, Justin. Take 2 attaboys out of Petty Cash.
We have Petty Cash.
I wish we did. Oh, yeah, Sunday Night Football. Ravens, Chiefs, Lamar Jackson, and Patrick Mahomes. Ooh, that'll be a good one. All right, so we got to turn this up a little bit so we can at least hear. We are now with the wedding. Now, this is a WWE wedding, so who knows what we got.
I'm just really surprised.
Who knows what happens? You got Dexter Lumis.
They really went all out for this.
They
one,
did.
Actually.
Yes, we got the decoration. We got the stuff hanging from the ceilings.
Took off the ring ropes and the posts.
Yes, we got the little trellis in the ring. Got the chairs. We got some of the NXT superstars. And here comes Johnny Gargano walking Indy Hartwell.
This is funny because the hard camera's facing the side, so
yes,
like she has to walk.
There's William Regal standing outside, the NXT general manager.
I like how all Dexter's people are dressed like Dexter with the gloves and everything.
They got the gloves, yes. Yeah.
It's funny to see Cameron Grimes there.
With the hat. You may be seated. All right, so we're going to sit them down.
It's weird to see like a lot of the wrestlers dressed up, but in their wrestling gear still.
Yes. There's Blake Christian. I wonder who they got to play the preacher.
And where do you get white mics from?
It looks like funny. It looks like what they did is they taped them with white tape and then used white mic windscreens.
I didn't know they have white windscreens.
I think they do.
I've never seen those.
I know I have multicolor, but
yeah, I know. I have multicolor ones, but I've never seen white. Like that's just
Gargano trying to go over his whole resume, and even Candace is going, Johnny, sit down, sit down. We're in the ring. We're in the ring, silly.
Who is that?
Who has the rings? Oh, it's this guy. That's not Coda Reeves, is it?
I think so.
But he's showing off his body, I mean. Oh, he's got the rings under. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I see now.
I was
okay.
like, you didn't see his.
Ah, there we go. But we have the rings. Okay.
That's
so
why
we got
I was
the
like,
rings.
it's weird that he's in his wrestling outfit.
Yeah, with a sport coat. Looks like he stole it from Seth Rollins. By the way, Seth Rollins is on the Broken Skull sessions. Apparently, they're going to. By the way, WWE's going to restart doing the documentaries again.
That's good.
So,
They
Dark
just-
Side of the Ring debuts.
Yeah.
This is funny. We're trying to give you the play-by-play here. Thanks for those sticking around on YouTube and Twitch. All one of you?
All 18 of you?
Well, I see. There might be a few more. Who
I'm
knows?
hoping for 18.
And there'll be some that see us afterwards. All right, so Indy is. So they're going to read their own vows.
Wow, she's really Australian.
Talking about she's misunderstood. Yes, she is Australian, which makes me love her instantly.
Taped up.
Yeah, it looks like just like white, almost like white gaff tape. Orange Cassidy thumbs up, but because it's fully extended. But hey.
Good.
Go through the. He stops. Dun.
Put
So-
into this because it's like Tommy Ciampa
Yeah.
champion
Craziness.
with no interference.
No craziness.
Yeah, it was just. Oh, okay. I'm sorry.